So this is the submittal initiations area of development services.
Elise Lowe shows me around the department she oversees. It's in charge of permitting everything from new home construction to replacement water heaters.
We take in permits all day long. They sit on the counter. They take in the permits. They set it up. They issue the permits. And this is where we'll do the marijuana production facility permits as well.
In September, the San Diego City Council voted to issue up to 40 permits for cultivating, processing, distributing, and testing marijuana. Now, dozens of entrepreneurs are starting the process of applying for those 40 permits.
This is the application registration for a marijuana production facility. You have to bring the ownership disclosure statement. We're only going to allow one of these tickets per premises. We don't want people coming in with multiple applications for one location.
San Diego has been through a similar process before. In 2014, it started issuing permits for medical marijuana dispensaries. Those permits are a lot more scarce. Only 4 are allowed per city council district.
Looking back to 2014.
Kimberly Sims is an attorney in the cannabis industry. She says people were literally camped outside the Development Services Department, hoping to get their application in first.
People had their tents out, they had their snacks. It was, and you could already see the arguing and the fighting starting. People had security guards, hired security guards that were standing in line with them. I'm glad that we've come up with a different way.
This time around, the city is giving out appointments through a randomized lottery. Applicants who meet the minimum zoning requirements and have the permission of the property owner to set up a cannabis business are guaranteed an appointment time tomorrow.
I think it certainly is a more organized method, and I think it creates a little bit more fairness as well in the process, and we don't have to worry about people lining up and then SDPD coming and saying, no, you can't line up yet. Everybody moves, and then it's a different order than it was before. So I think at least it's more streamlined, and arguably it's much more fair.
Lowe says that's exactly what the city is going for.
So the city's goal is absolutely the most fair and equitable process as possible. We want to ensure consistency throughout the applications. We don't want any applicants to get an unfair or a perceived unfair advantage over another's. That's our #1 goal.
The permitting process for marijuana supply chain businesses may be less chaotic than the one for marijuana dispensaries, but given the tight restrictions on where these businesses can be and the huge potential for money in the newly legal cannabis market, things are still likely to be very competitive. Lowe says it's fierce.
I have even heard of an instance where someone went as far as to specifically open a child care business near a competitor so that they could bump that person out of the market and then they would be next in line. I've heard lots of conspiracy theories, but I've seen quite a few things happen. It's a very, very interesting process because of how competitive it is. I've never seen anything like it.
Sales of recreational cannabis become legal on January 1st, but the permitting process for cannabis businesses in San Diego can take up to a year, sometimes longer. So while pot shops may be open for business next year, it could still take them months to find enough legally produced cannabis products to keep their shelves stocked. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.